We are about to begin this week's edition of the Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. We have a great matchup here. Again, we expect this to be a very high-scoring matchup. Rematch from last year's finals, the Auburn Knights versus the Boylan Titans. This is our first match of the Final Four. It's also not only to earn a spot in the finale this season, but also to earn a spot in our Tournament of Champions. We begin, as we always do, with our Superior Joining Technologies buzz-in round. Every question is worth 10 points. If you get it wrong, the other team gets a chance to steal your 10 points. This is a buzz-in. You buzz in, you are on your own. Let's get to some questions, shall we? You know the rules. You've been playing this all season. Let's begin our buzz-in round with this question. Hands on your buzzers. What British customs ship was burned by the Sons of Liberty on the Rhode Island coast? Ethan.
Gaspee.
Gaspee, correct. It's part of the 1772 Gaspee Affair, and that is 10 points for Auburn. Next question. What politician, who is known as the Little Giant, introduced the Kansas-Nebraska Lily?
Douglas.
That is correct. The Kansas-Nebraska Act in 1858. Also engaged in 7 debates with Abraham Lincoln. Second of those right here in Freeport. 10 more points for Auburn. The shortening of what repetitive DNA sequences on the ends of chromosomes has been linked to cellular aging? Ethan.
Telomeres?
Telomeres, correct. 10 points. What European country that controls the Caribbean islands of Curacao and Aruba is home to the cities of Leiden, Utrecht, and The Hague? Ethan.
Netherlands.
Netherlands is correct. Hague may have helped there, and that's 10 more points. What 19th century Russian author described Akaki's attempts to find a lost garment in a short story titled, Ethan?
Gogol.
Gogol is correct. That short story was titled The Overcoat, and that's 10 more points for Auburn. What artist said, "No, you did this," to a military officer speaking of his large black and white painting of the bombing of a Basque town? William.
Picasso.
Picasso is correct. That town is Guernica, and Boylan, you are on the board now with 10 points. What monarch who sparked the 7 Years' War after invading Saxony was the King of Prussia for nearly 50, Ethan?
Frederick the Great.
Frederick the Great, correct. 50 years in the 18th century, and you've got 10 more points. Duhan and Hanjin are kaibal that dominate the economy in what Asian country, whose major exporting companies include Samsung and Hyundai? Leaf.
Like South Korea.
Like, correct. 10 points for you. Kaibal is actually a big business conglomerate. Those last two companies may have helped you. And you have 10 more points. What war is the setting of A Bell for Adano, as well as a book by John Hersey about the effects of radiation poisoning on the residents of Hiroshima? William.
World War II.
World War II is correct. Hiroshima, probably a key there for you. And you've got 10 points. You're up to 20. What board game that involves stacking and removing wooden blocks to construct leaf?
Jenga.
Correct. It's from the Swahili verb meaning to build. You have just built your score up by 10 more points. What composer of the piano pieces Chrysleriana and Scenes from Ethan?
Schumann.
Schumann is correct. You didn't read the rest of that question, and we're going to move on now to a new one. You've got 10 more points. The La Scala Opera House is in what Italian city, once ruled by the, Ethan?
Milan.
Milan, correct. Once ruled by the Sforza family. 10 points. Auburn, you're now at 100. What city, whose annual Dally in the Alley Festival is held near Wayne State University, went bankrupt and is the most populous city in Michigan? William.
Detroit.
Detroit is correct. And you've got 10 more points. What 20th century Dutch artist used black lines and rectangles of primary colors in De Stijl? Ethan?
Mondrian.
Mondrian is correct. Paintings such as Broadway Boogie Woogie, and that is 10 more points for Auburn. Torque equals the applied force times an arm named for what simple machine? Leaf?
Lever.
Lever is correct. Machine that pivots at a fulcrum, and it's exemplified by a seesaw. That lever is 10 more points for Auburn. A completely blank chapter called Vanished into the Clouds. Leaf?
Tale of Genji.
We'll take that. Tale of Genji signifies the death of what prince, the subject of an 11th century tale. Genji is the prince, and we'll take that full title for 10 more points. And that is the last question in this round. Auburn is off to a pretty quick start, 130-30, but there's a lot of game left to play, and we know how quickly these scores can change. We'll be back with our volleyball round after this. Don't go away.